What's up guys, ajmida here. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to manage your money like the top 1%. Now unfortunately, this is not a topic being taught in schools. You're not gonna learn it from your parents, you're not gonna learn it from your friends. However, the information is out there and it's actually kind of like a taboo subject to actually talk with like your friends and family. However, when you surround yourself with the right people, these are the topics that you start having, and it's crucial that you start surrounding yourself with these types of people as well, because that's what's gonna help you learn these different strategies and implement them. So step one, the first thing that you wanna do is track your expenses. This allows you to know where all of your expenses are going. You're gonna wanna track them for at least 90 days, every single thing that you're spending money on. You can do this using different softwares like Personal Capital, that's one that I love, mint.com. You can even use a basic spreadsheet, but you wanna know where your money's going, because that way you can kind of course correct. And maybe you're spending a little bit too much money on fun, or maybe a little bit too much money on food, and you don't wanna be spending that much money on these different items. Well, then you'll figure out where you need to kind of scale back. Sometimes you might be thinking at the end of the month, like, man, where is all my money going? This is the way to figure it out. Now, once you know where all your money's going, step two is to create an emergency fund. You want to have a cushion. 3 to 6 months of expenses is ideal. If you like a little more stability, maybe up to a year in living expenses. Now this can take a while. If you're spending, say, $5,000 a month, well, 6 months is $30,000. So this can take time to save, but you definitely want to create a cushion. For me, I'm a little more risk averse, so even just 3 months of living expenses and savings for me is okay. Unexpected expenses are going to come up, and you want an emergency fund in place that you can pull from in case something does come up. Maybe your car breaks down, maybe you get laid off from your job, maybe if you're in sales you go a few months without getting any significant commissions. I mean, just psychologically speaking, this is huge. It allows you to take different risks in business. It allows you to maybe leave a job that is just holding you in place and pursuing a business, pursuing maybe a job as a real estate agent or a job as a mortgage lender. Having this cushion will allow you to float yourself into that next role, as opposed to being just stuck in that cubicle 9 to 5 every day when you know you need something else, when you know you need to take that next step in your career and get to that next level. So step 3 is employer matched retirement funds. A lot of companies will actually match what you're putting in out of your paycheck on a one-to-one basis. So if you put in $1,000, they actually match $1,000, now up to a certain limit. This is literally free money. If you're an employee of a company, you need to run to the HR director or whoever and ask, is there a program like this in place? And if there is, you immediately need to start maxing that out. That's the first step. That is 100% free money basically from your employer. And if you're self-employed, there's also a SEP 401k and a SEP IRA that you can also invest in. Now those are pretty in-depth, and I'm not going to use that video to go into that. You can Google the term SEP IRA, and you'll get a lot of great resources online about that. That's what I recommend you do. For me, I'm self-employed, been self-employed for a long time, so those are programs that I would be looking at as opposed to just getting, like a 401k match at a corporation. Now step 4 is paying off all high interest debt. Anything above, say, 5% is a good benchmark to look at. Anything below that could be something that you decide not to pay off and you're investing the difference. But anything above 5%, you definitely want to pay off as fast as possible. Now there's 2 main strategies that you can use. The first one being the debt snowball. You might have heard that one before. Dave Ramsey has made that highly popular, and I think it's a great strategy if you want to implement that one. I'll tell you the 2 differences and the benefits of each one. So a debt snowball, the idea is that you're paying off the smallest debts first. And when you pay off that, say, $100 a month credit card payment that you've been making for a while, you take that payment and you roll that into the next one. Maybe the next one's a $400 a month car payment that you roll it into. And the idea is that as you're doing this, you're paying off the smallest balances first, and you're getting these wins, these psychological wins, to keep you motivated to keep paying off debt to debt. Now the second one is the avalanche strategy. This is the one I prefer, but use either one. Just pick one and go for it. With the avalanche method, you're going to actually want to sort your debts by interest rate, and you're going to want to pay off the highest interest rates first. Now this could save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars over the course of a few years, because you're paying off the highest interest rates first. But based on your personality, just pick one. If you want to get those quick wins, you want to see success, and you think that's going to keep you more motivated, go that route. If you're more analytical and you know that you're going to stick to the plan no matter what, go after the highest interest debts first. Step 5, invest in a Roth IRA. This is after you're maximizing everything that your company might be offering. This is gonna allow you to take after-tax money, so once you've already paid the IRS, the after-tax money, it's gonna allow you to take that, invest it in the Roth IRA, and when you're 59 and a half, you'll be able to withdraw out of that fund, and all that money is gonna be tax-free because you pay the taxes up front. So the idea is by taking the after-tax money and allowing it to grow over time, when you take it out in the future, you're gonna save more on taxes had you invested that money pre-tax. So this is a great fund for you to get started with. Now, step 6, we're getting into low-cost index funds. Now, there's not a lot you can do this to really save taxes. You've already maxed out what your employer's offering. You maxed out maybe the SEP IRA if you're self-employed. You maxed out the Roth IRA. Now you're getting into low-cost index funds. These are not tax advantage accounts. Highly recommend something like the VT-SAX from Vanguard. That's just a low-cost index fund that's really tracking the market. There's very, very low management fees. With that account, I have over 10,000 invested, so the management fee on that is only 0.04%, which is amazing versus having, say, an active manager manage it where fees could be upwards of 1 to 2%. That's a huge, huge savings. So you want your money in something that's low cost, a low-cost index fund. Vanguard's kind of the OG in this realm of investing. Jack Bogle in 1975 actually started the Vanguard fund, so that's why I like to use Vanguard, just because they've really been the longest in the space. But Fidelity has great options, lots of other great options out there. The idea is, based on the Trinity study that was done in the 90s, is that whatever you have invested in the market, you can withdraw about 4%, it's the 4% rule. You can withdraw 4% per year, and there's a good chance that you're not going to run out of money before you die. That's a good thing, right? So the study actually said that there's a 96% likelihood that you'll not run out of money in a 30-year period. If you look up the study, it's really cool. You can see the different, if you took out 5%, what's the likelihood of you running out? If you took out 3%, what's the likelihood? It's a really unique study. So how I'm using that is when I am ready to completely live off my investments, which I always plan on actively working in some capacity. Maybe if I'm 60 or 70, maybe not, but who knows. So the way you can use that strategy is, say you're okay living on $40,000 a year. Well, if you can get $1 million in, say, a low-cost index fund, then you can actually live off $40,000 a year, which is pretty cool. So there's a whole movement around it called the FIRE movement, which is financial independence, retire early. I'm more into the FI part of it, financial independence, because I love working, I love giving back, I love just inspiring others. So I continue to do something work-wise for a very long time, but the financial independence part of it I think is really neat. So I would just Google those terms and you'll find some great blogs and some great YouTube videos to check out in that space. Now, step 7, I would also be looking at investing in real estate, rental properties. This is huge because you can actually leverage the bank's money. You can put, say, 20% down on an investment property, and over a 15-year period or maybe a 30-year period, depending on which type of loan you get, your tenants are actually paying off that mortgage. There's also a really great strategy right now called the BRRRR method. I think it's like buy, rehab, refinance, and repeat. I love the concept of it. If you're interested in that, just Google that term again, guys. I mean, Google, YouTube, so much good information out there, and learn what that is. That's another great strategy for investing in real estate. And just one bonus step is invest in yourself. I would actually go all the way to the front and put this one up there if I were you. You can do this pretty much for free. I mean, YouTube, great knowledge is on YouTube. The blogs, I read so many great blogs that is completely free information. And for a little bit of money, you can be buying great books. I mean, you can get a lifetime of someone's knowledge in a book for $10, $15, $20. So be investing back in yourself. And by the time you get all the way to step 7, you'll have the money to invest in yourself at a higher level. At that point, look at maybe getting a coach. If you're a salesperson, a real estate agent, get a real estate coach. Or you can invest yourself by going to great seminars like Brendan Burchard's seminars. I'm part of Brendan Burchard's mastermind, maybe Tony Robbins events, different things like that to really invest back in yourself at a high level. I highly recommend that. Basically, when you look at that level of investing back in yourself, it's all about collapsing time frames. It's about working with someone either one-on-one or in more of an intimate relationship versus just watching them on YouTube, to really take their knowledge and to help collapse time frames, help you achieve your goals faster. I hope these 7 steps helped you. Along with the bonus, please do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, and please like the video, because that definitely helps the YouTube algorithm, which would be awesome, so more people can see this video and help change their lives so they can manage their money like the 1%.